Good day. Good day. Happy Saturday this evening, afternoon, wherever you are, whatever it is. All right. So something came up this morning. It may have been late last night. It all kind of blends. And I thought I would talk about it just because I'm sure there are many people out there who are in the same position. And it kind of ties in with Think and Grow Rich. I'm sure many people out there have heard of it. Many have read, maybe you haven't. And I'm going to read a few quotes from the book and kind of tie in where my most recent experiences come into play here. Okay. This is in the chapter called Decision. Procrastination, the opposite of decision, is a common enemy which practically every man must conquer. Procrastination, the opposite of decision, is a common enemy which practically every man must conquer. Now, for me, when procrastination comes into play was approximately almost a year ago. It was the end of December, where up until that point, I had been working out consistently throughout the week. I was lifting weights, I play soccer, and then somewhere along the line in there, I just decided to stop. I just thought, nope, that's it, I'm done. And then the months became more months and just kind of rolled into each other. And before I knew it, it was July of this year. And I think I was out for a hike at one point, and we had taken some weird pictures for social media where I was hanging from a tree, and we were going to kind of recreate that. So I climb up the tree as best as I can. I hang onto the branch and then realize, oh man, where did that strength go? Where did that strength go? And that was a result of the decision I made back December of last year to stop working out. That was my outcome. And it all stemmed from a decision. And then the procrastination to get back into working out, because I was thinking about it before that day in July, which I happened to realize was 4 months ago today, on the 16th, when I started back up working out again. And I just thought this would be a great thing to talk about, because who isn't dealing with procrastination or even just making decisions? So another quote here I wanted to read. The majority of people who fail to accumulate money sufficient for their needs are generally easily influenced by the opinions of others. And this is sometimes how you can kind of get away from making that decision. You're looking at all sorts of different input from various sources. Maybe it's in regards to your health, like in the way that I'm just describing, or it's another method. Intuitively, I don't know why I said that word, you know what you need and what you want. That's an inside resource, not an outside one. And often I think it's because maybe we're just not confident in making that decision, is sometimes why we're looking outside of ourselves. And it's a part of connecting with who you are and being confident with who you are, and knowing that sometimes the decision could lead to things that go with this next part of this chapter, which I wanted to share. The value of decisions depend upon the courage required to render them. The great decisions which serve as the foundation of civilization were reached by assuming great risk, which often meant the chance of death. Now, this might seem a little dramatic, perhaps. And back in the day when this was involving the foundations of the US and how that was formed, this was very accurate. But in my case, maybe it would lead to, gosh, if I didn't work out, because I'm thinking of the future. I'm thinking years down the line as far as how I want my life to be. And by making the decision to get back into working out and doing it consistently and wanting to be strong in my older years, what does that do for me? What is my outcome with that? I would assume my outcome would be better than what I experienced that day hanging from the tree, and just feeling the difference in my arms and how I didn't have the strength I once did. And that was really a part of what motivated my decision to get back into it, because in my later years, I want to make sure that I'm strong enough to be independent, to do the simplest things that many of us take for granted, like getting off the toilet, standing up from the couch, anything that's very simple like that. And it comes from making a decision. And this chapter is very, if you really, really read it, it's very powerful. Very, very powerful. The things that the men went through at that time, and I'm sure the women who were married involved with those men at that time, pretty remarkable. And again, I know maybe it doesn't seem like it's life or death, but for me, if I didn't get back into working out now, that could mean death earlier as when I get older. That could mean maybe I'm not strong enough and I step wrong and make a fall. I fall, and then maybe that leads just to me going downhill and then not having the quality of life that I could have had. And that all stemmed from one decision. And I'm going to tie in Kate's story a little bit, and I'm sure she'll be okay with that because it is an empowering one and it's important for people to hear around her story of MS and making changes that helped her have a better quality of life in order to be who she wanted to be and be who she needed to be, like she is now, because she's spreading a message that's helping many people change their lives and know that they can as well. That all started from a decision. She decided that she wanted better. She didn't want to be suffering from the side effects from medications and from the brain fog, and at one point not being able to walk and have the movement that she wanted. That came from a decision. And it came from a place of utter commitment and grit at some point, because her mindset was there. She's, in the most positive way, stubborn when needed to get to where she wanted to be, because for her, that was life or death. And I'm sure there are people out there who are and have been in the same situation, and you made a decision one way or the other. And I hope it was in the positive. And that's what I wanted to share today. Just the things that can happen from making one decision can dramatically change your life. And you are one decision from a completely different life. And I don't remember who that quote was by, but maybe someone watching might put that in the comments. Or if I think about it, I will as well. And that was the message I just wanted to share today. That's what came to me. And I'm still running on the spontaneous intuition doing lives, because I've been doing a bunch this week. So if you haven't watched any of those, go back and have a look, because maybe there's a message there for you as well. And at that, I will leave it there. I hope everyone has an amazing weekend. Get outside, get some fresh air, have some movement. And if there is a decision that you've been holding back on making, if there's been something that you know you need to decide on, just take a moment, go within, and really connect with yourself, and just find the resources you need to make that decision, because you have them. You are the only one that can do that. So have an amazing Saturday.